My name is Stacy, and your name is?
Kim,
Kim, how are you today?
I'm all right.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Okay. I think the best way to start off is to let me just explain my position here at the agency, and then we could talk a little bit about what brought you in today.
Okay.
Okay? I'm an ongoing supervisor here at Children's Services, and your case came open and it was transferred after the investigation process to our unit. So I've got the social worker's notes, but from the previous worker, but I'd love to hear your point of view and what you think is the current problem and how you feel about your case being transferred for ongoing services. So where would you like to start?
Well, I'd like to start with, first of all, I think it's crap that Children's Services became involved with my family because nothing's wrong.
Okay. When the initial worker came out and identified the concerns to you, what were those concerns?
It was lies. It was just all lies. I mean, she came out saying that my husband, did all this stuff and I don't know where they would get this and I think that I have a neighbor who's trying to get in our business and is just calling Children's Services, and it's all a bunch of lies.
Well, I can see that you are feeling very frustrated.
Very.
Okay. And I understand that dealing with Children's Services can be very frustrating. So let's take a step back and I will kind of identify for you what I was told, okay? And maybe we can go through a little history and then we can talk about where your family is currently. You are married?
Yes.
To your husband, right? And you have 2 children?
Yes.
Yes. A son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And your daughter is the older of the 2?
No, she's 9.
She's 9, okay. And how old is your son?
He's 11.
He's 11, okay. And you've had past involvement with Children's Services before?
Well, but they've always closed those cases.
Okay, okay. So I know about your youngest daughter is 9, so about 8 years ago, your husband was convicted of shaking your daughter, and he went to prison for that. Is that true? Yes. Okay. And he just served about 5 years, and then he returned to your house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you believe that happened? Were you aware that your husband had abused your daughter like that?
Well, they said he did, but I don't think he could have possibly done it.
Okay. And can I ask why? Because he was convicted. He did go to prison.
Well, I mean, he told me that, he didn't do it, and I believe him, and, I mean, they all were out to get him, and the police and you people and everybody was involved and said he did it, but.
Okay. When you say that you people and police are out to get him, why would everybody be out to get your husband?
Well, I mean, I just don't think he did it. I mean, he said he didn't do it, and I don't think that he did it.
Okay. And there were, I'm assuming, and maybe you can confirm this for me, there were medical reports from medical professionals that said she was indeed shaken?
I believe so. They took her to, I think, a hospital in Akron.
Okay. And maybe the name of that doctor was Dr. Steiner?
Could be.
Could be, okay. And just a couple more questions and then we'll kind of move through the history. So there was some evidence presented, and I believe that they weren't able to identify that anybody else was caring for your daughter at the time the incident occurred?
Well, I don't understand why you're talking about this. I mean, this happened like 8 years ago. I don't understand why it's coming up now.
Okay, well that's fair. So let's talk about the current concerns and why your case is been opened and transferred for ongoing services again. So I know that a social worker came out and there's been some new allegations made against your husband by your daughter. I believe that we have some concurrent concerns, and I know that these have been identified to you. Would that be right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. About that your daughter is disclosing that your husband has been sexually abusing her. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's, again, a potential for criminal charges here. And
But what you guys need to understand is she has all these problems and she lies a lot, and I don't know why everybody's always believing what she's saying.
Okay. So you don't believe that the allegations
No.
are true?
No.
Okay. Have you attempted to talk to your daughter about that at all, or?
No, not really. I mean, I don't, I think everybody keeps putting things in her head, and so now, she's saying all this stuff, and I'm not gonna talk to her about it.
Okay.
You people have already talked to her, so.
Okay, and I believe that that your husband is still living in the home, and then that Zoe is out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is she staying with a relative?
Yeah, she's with my brother.
Okay, she's with your brother. And have you been visiting with Zoe at all?
Well, it's kind of hard right now because, we're trying to move on past this, and I don't even know what to say to her, and so, I mean, we really haven't seen her. I call, a couple times, but.
Okay. Well, I would imagine that it's very difficult. You're in a difficult situation. Can I ask, how did you guys manage financially when your husband went to prison for those few years?
Well, I worked odd jobs, and, I was a dancer for a little bit, so, I mean, trying to make whatever money I could.
Okay. And what about Zoe? Has she had any physical handicaps, or is there any lingering effects from her being shaken when she was an infant?
Well, I mean, she's not the brightest crane in the box, if that's what you mean. I mean,
Is she in any special classes? Does she have an IEP?
Yeah, the school, they try to tell me some stuff about her needing an IEP, but, I mean, I've never followed through with anything like that. I mean,
Can I ask why you haven't followed through?
well, I mean, does she really need one?
Well, does she struggle at school?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So maybe if you went ahead and did some of the testing for if the school would do that, she could get some help and some supports at school that would perhaps make her a little bit more successful at school.
Okay.
Okay? Is that something that maybe you would consider our agency allowing you to help you with?
Yeah,
Okay.
That sounds okay.
Okay, great. What about your son? How's he doing with all of this?
He's fine. He doesn't, I mean, he's a normal kid.
Okay. What grade is he in?
He's in 5th grade.
He's in 5th grade. And what grade is your daughter in?
She's in 4th grade.
She's in 4th grade. Okay. So, I just want to come back before we have to end this interview and talk about your husband for a couple more minutes. He's still living in the home.
Mm-hmm.
So, if your husband is prosecuted for these charges, and
Well, how can he be prosecuted if he didn't do it?
okay, well, I think that's something that we're going to have to talk about a little bit more into the future, and we'd like to offer you to go to a counseling agency that we use. It's called Northeast Ohio, and perhaps do a parenting assessment, and then you could.
For me?
For you, yes. We would also ask that he go to an agency that we use that deals with working with offenders of physical abuse, domestic violence, sexual abuse, sexual assault, and ask that he be assessed.
Mm-hmm.
And then perhaps the professionals could kind of identify some strengths and some concerns, both of those.
Well, I don't think he's gonna go because he doesn't trust you people from the last time that
Right.
you guys put him in
Okay.
prison. So, I mean, you can talk to him, but I don't think that he'll go.
Okay. I would love to talk to him. Do you think that we could get him to come in and meet with me?
I don't know. I can
Okay.
ask.
You can ask. And if he doesn't want to come here, I am more than willing to go to your home and meet with you guys.
Okay.
And we can move forward from that point to see if, I do have to say that there's a strong chance that these allegations are substantiated based on the evidence that our agency has collected. And so I think that we need to move forward with a plan on how your family copes with that, and what we can do to provide you guys with some assistance, some counseling, or identify any other areas where your family might benefit from some services in the community. Okay? All right, well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.